What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Teen Mom 2 recap, which aired on Monday, February 4th on MTV. The show starts off with Chelsea and Cole and Aubrey, and they're talking to Aubrey about her expectations for the first day of school coming up. She sounds pretty excited for the big day, and it's almost bedtime. She's not really feeling going to bed at, 8 o'clock at night. But they're like, you got to go to bed. There's school in the morning. So moving right along to Leah, she's talking to her boyfriend about Allie's medical history. And she hoped that this new breathing machine they're going to use to kind of test out Allie's breathing. She really hopes that it help them figure out what they need to do next to help her breathe better, as far as her like catching her breath, or I don't know. I guess like when she's doing a little bit too much and she kind of gets short-winded. So this machine is gonna help figure out what it is that they need to do going forward with her condition. So last week when the show went off, they showed Janelle making a phone call to the police about David allegedly putting his hands on her. I don't really know what happened. I know Janelle was crying a lot, sounded like she was in a lot of pain. She mentioned something about her shoulder was hurting pretty bad, like there was a broken bone or something, and she can feel the bone. I mean, she went into details for a minute. Sounded like she was in a lot of pain, like for real. And when the police asked her husband's name, and she said David Easton, it just sounded like to me she wanted him to go to jail for whatever had happened. Like she was done. She was hurt. Whatever happened, she wanted the police to come and get his ass. So, that phone call, once it was leaked out online and everything, Janelle wasn't happy about that. She was pretty embarrassed and she refused to film. So I'm like, why would you refuse to film? Because you called the police on him if he hurt you. If anything, he should be the one that's embarrassed, but he really should feel ashamed of himself for putting his hands on a woman, on a female, on his wife, on anybody. Like, what's wrong with that dude? He just seemed violent, angry, just seemed all around crazy. So, the producers are talking to Barbara. They asking Barbara, like, how's Janelle doing since it happened and everything. And Barbara, the way she's giving an interview is like she's trying her best to say the right things, like, because Janelle is watching. So I got to make sure I say the right thing. Like, where's the real Barbara? Would the real Barbara stand up? The one who I'm used to, the one who don't bite her tongue to nothing, the one who whatever comes up, comes out. I mean, I want the real and raw Barbara. It just seems like this Barbara here is so animated and so scripted and put on for the cameras just to make it seem like something that's not even really going on between her and Janelle. Like, I don't know, like she's just trying to put on an act to make it seem like her and Janelle getting along real good. Janelle probably, again, I'm just saying this in my opinion, it seems like Janelle threatened her, like, we're going to have to start getting along good, or you're going to have to start portraying me in the light to make it look like that I'm a good daughter. Like, whatever, girl. So the producers are asking her how Janelle doing, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, well, I don't want to, push her away. I'm checking on her. And then I'm just going to let it go and let her come to me with it whenever she's ready to talk about it. I'm like, that just don't sound like Barbara. We know how Barbara really be blowing Janelle phone up and like, well, Janelle, if he put his hands on you once, he'll do it again. We know how Barbara is. And it just seemed like this is just so fake. So, she also went into details about when she was younger, she was in an abusive relationship herself. She just kept it to herself and stuff like that. And I'm like, so this is supposed to make it look like, so I understand why Janelle is kind of being on a hush-hush about it and just don't want to talk right now. Just don't want to show her face because she's kind of embarrassed. Like, what? I don't know. So anyway, she was just like, well, it's her marriage, it's her relationship, whenever she's ready to talk about it, she will. It's all that's up to her. She was like, it's her decision to make. So, moving on to Brianna and Shirley, they're at the nail salon, and Brianna's talking about, Shirley asked Brianna about who was texting her, and Brianna's blushing and everything and said, well, his name is John. And she was like, and we're going to be filming soon, and I don't even really know, like, what's going to happen, like, what we're going to talk about and stuff like that. So Shirley was like, well, he know about the girls. And she said, yeah, but I'm really not thinking about bringing him around my girls right now because we just met and stuff like that. I'm just going to see how it's going to go first. And I was like, yeah. And why was Shirley, the type of friend that, and how supportive Shirley is, I wouldn't expect her to ask. I mean, I'm hoping that she's not asking her, is you going to bring him around the girls like so soon? Like, I'm pretty sure she knows it's too early to bring him around the girls, and she just met him. So, yeah, Brianna was like, I'm going to wait and see how it's going to go first. Because they may just end up being friends, They just got together. So, let's see. So, Kale, I don't know if she's going to be really reuniting with her mom anytime soon. However, she is considering meeting up with her half-sister soon, who she haven't seen in a couple of years. She also, I'm talking about Kale, she got this hairline product coming out. She's going to be going to Dallas soon for a meeting about the product. When she made it to Dallas, she's going to be like talking with the people about them putting the product together. So, she also mentioned about the reason why she want to see her sister is to kind of rekindle her relationship with her and start seeing her more often, because she want the kids to get to know their family on her mother's side of the family. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So, it's Aubrey's first day of 3rd grade, and she's so pretty with her little red dress on. And I just love the relationship between Cole and her. It's like he's just such the perfect father figure for her. They just need to completely, forget about Adam, quit talking to her about Adam or any of that. If Adam don't just show his face, they need to just keep him completely out the storyline. So Leah's taking Allie to the doctor on this day, and they're going to put her on a cough assist machine to help her clear up her lungs so that this can help her breathe better. And I guess that, I don't know if the way that, the pressure from her trying to catch her breath or whatever, I don't know if that has to do with her being able to clear out her lungs. I don't really know. I'm learning about this as I'm watching this show. But this is the reason why Leah's taking her to the doctor, and she's also getting a physical. So Caitlin is meeting with the producers of her new hair care product, and they're just showing her around the lab. They showed her how the chemicals are mixed up to make the product, and she's pretty confident that everything's going to pretty much go smooth. So Nathan is telling his ex, Ashley, that he thinks Janelle has been leaving the kids at home alone because every time he asks her who's at home with the kids, she talks her way around the answer. And I can pretty much assume how this conversation goes, especially right after that 911 call about David and all that kind of stuff, and especially about him, being physical, being violent with Janelle. So I could understand, Nathan's concern even more so. So Brianna has flown to New York to see her new boo, and they're going to hang out at the hotel, him, his cousin, and his cousin's girlfriend. And John's cousin's girlfriend and Brianna, they seem to kind of hit it off pretty quickly, like they been knowing each other. So Leah's taking Allie to the doctor, the second doctor, Dr. Taso, the one that we met early on when she was a baby. And after she went to have her physical, she went to see him, and she scored a little higher on her physical. So Dr. Taso seemed pretty happy to see Allie again, and it was a good visit with him. Everything went well. He mentioned that she's gotten so big, and he even called her a shining star. So Leo also mentioned that she's going to be meeting with someone in the IEP meeting, like about damn near having to fight to get an aid for Allie at school. And it's just sad that this type of medical assistance, it got to be an issue, especially for a child. Like, why is they making it so hard for her to get whatever she needs for this child? So Caitlin is meeting with her sister for the first time. She haven't seen her in a few years. And the first thing her sister tells her is that she is 14 weeks pregnant. So Caitlin's all excited to meet her new soon-to-be niece or nephew. And she's just going on and on about wanting to... She was asking her, do you ever think about, seeing their dad? And her sister was like, no. I mean, she just shut that idea down quickly. She was like, I just don't even worry about it. I've been doing so good for myself this far. I don't really worry about seeing him. So Caitlin was like, yeah. So she said, well, I just think it'll be good if we start seeing each other more, especially with the baby going to be born soon. And she wants the kids to know their family and everything. It's just be good for family. But they had a pretty good meeting and everything. And you can tell Caitlin was happy to be in her company because she was talking her ass off. So the dodo bird finally decided to film. And she's telling Barbara some lie about she accidentally fell in a hole. They was drunk. She was cursing out David. When David got out the truck, I don't know, she fell in a hole and he somehow fell on top of her. And then Barbara was looking at her like, well, why did you call the police? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, come through, real Barbara, come through. She was like, well, why did you call the police? Like, because you're lying. And she know her daughter's lying. So all she do is lie. Just to make David look good. Even when David is clearly in the wrong. So anyway, we getting nowhere here with Janelle. She's completely just denying the fact that David did anything to her wrong. So I don't know. I guess her shoulder is all right now. But she just said, I just didn't want ambulance to come. I didn't want this to come. I didn't want that to come. Like, girl, whatever. I don't even want to talk about that right now with her. She just disgusts me to the point where she make it hard for you to even have sympathy for her. And if anything, the police should arrest her for wasting their time coming out there. So anyway, so Brianna and John, they went to the state fair. Seemed like she was having a pretty good time with Buddy. I mean, lots of laughter, and it was just good to see her unwind and enjoy herself for a chance. So, that's pretty much how the show came to an end, y'all. It wasn't too much on this episode. I kind of skimmed through to, what I know that you probably want to hear about, which wasn't that much. Wasn't that much different from what we're used to. Hopefully next week will be a little bit more better. But anyway, if you all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching.